say this map, Vito, is, if you're looking at it from a Heretics perspective, Kafka-esque. It feels like they've walked into hell willingly. These are some of the strongest maps for Leviathan, and they're walking in their eyes wide open. They've got to be happy with this.
This is a very difficult situation for Team Heretics. Obviously, looking at their map pool, they instantly take out Ascent. That's one of Leviathan's best maps, but that means Icebox left in. Team Heretics has not looked pretty on this. Oh. They've lost to weaker teams in the regional matchups. Koi to Gentlemates. It's not looking pretty here, and we're not even going to see their best map of Sunset either in the series. They need to come out swinging. They need to show us something different.
And we were discussing that Heretics had looked a little revitalized coming into this with some switch-ups, but to discredit LEV here would be a disservice. They are exceptionally strong on this map. We have to wait and see how it looks for them today. Doritex, second time is always a little bit better. We're getting curious, and he's dead. He's very dead. Aspas happily going to take him away. Sheriff in his hands. Always scary. Again, for Aspas, looking to see him activate here. Another great map for him. And that head-to-head with Miniboo is something going to be on our forefront of our minds. Oh, a little bit of a re-swing.
Okay,
nice
Benji.
From Benji. Aspas.
Okay, Benji.
Relax, Benji. But he's given them a chance, and it's now a 2v2. The spam nearly caught Aspas in the heels. Pause. Slow it down. 40 seconds. They've got time to play with, and Aspas, he's already getting over towards B.
It's going to develop a little bit. Aspas down to only 10 HP, so yes, he'll get that spike planted,
30 seconds left.
But it's all on King and his positioning here. How is he going to deal with the rotation from Team Heretics? They're going to move together. Dart's going to come off cooldown before they go for this retake. The HP is there for the side of Team Heretics, but Sheriffs purchased up for Team Leviathan, and only 100 HP on these players. So it's 2 body shots.
Oh, this is important.
Spots one.
Spot made.
Standing ahead.
And it's actually Aspas that was the one that planted the spike, and he makes his
way
around the world. But no splash damage to be able to get on that spike.
This is sick, though. They don't expect it. The timing's so good for Aspas. If he can just check on the spike, that's a great shot. That's a perfect follow-up for King. Aspas willing to put his body on the line for that trade as well. LEV walk away with the first. They kept composed under what got a very dangerous situation with Benji finding those 3.
It's a big effort from Benji out the gates, but maybe a little bit misplayed from that entire push sequence, starting from that push from Woot with that Dizzy. Not enough follow-up. And what we're going to see from Leviathan this entire game right now is because they have that Viper Harbor just double controller setup, they can continuously put up and down walls, use cascades. That Viper Orb placement towards the back of A site as well is going to be crucial. It's on Team Heretics to make sure that their timing and spacing is pivotal. Benji, first to fall.
Love that. Love that, punishing any attempt. And I want to see this from LEV. I want to see the dialed-in LEV. I want to see that dangerous LEV. They've been a little hit and miss throughout this so far. Obviously that upset earlier on in the groups. Looking to recover, and they're doing so very well here. Step by step, clearing out the A site. Still a couple of threats there. Sheriff's in hand. That's going to be Miniboo and Rien, so Rien's now noted. Tex takes down Miniboo. Beautifully done for LEV. That's 5 standing. That's dreamy.
Nice flawless round, gonna help that economy situation. But as I look to these two teams, yes, this is going to be an uphill battle for Team Heretics. Right now, they're not getting the best map picks for them. But if you take a look at the form from both teams recently coming into this event, they were teams that were just destroying 2-0 constantly throughout the year. But in the Stage 2 area, including playoffs, they looked like they were dropping maps here and there, both these teams. But to get to this stage, in this Champs tournament right now, they're both the heavy hitters. This is going to be a huge test.
Yeah. Bonus here for LEV, so going to look at the Vandal that's still with Aspas. And bits and bobs around it. So certainly poses enough of a threat, and I feel like we're going to be seeing this A site basically the entire time. A little bit of a lurk from King, kind of keeping control on the other side, so no overconfidence or, I guess, assumptions can be made if you're Heretics. They can't always assume. And they will be punished if they do so. Aspas, again, renowned for his entry work. The guy is genuinely a joy to watch. But for now, it's going to be Tex. Quick on the trigger to find Benji, and a very quick rotation.
It's all on Boo here at the back of the site. Dart on Calm, though. He's going to catch him, force him out of the position. He needs to back away. He needs to value his life. 4 versus 5 is winnable. That spike's going to get planted. He cannot stop it, not with that Cove up.
Nah, nothing to be done about it. It's actually Tex to connect. This bonus looking like pretty much on the money here. They're in the post plant. They've got all the bodies here. And Aspas leading the charge again. Finally put to bed by Boo, but it's Rienz and Boo to try and clear all of this space. They've got util for the post plant. Tex can create a fortress around him by Yellow. And this Outlaw already been spot on. I think a tag there. Yeah, Rienz is barely breathing. Boo's trying to do some work, but it's Tex. Folding this down. Beautiful from Tex. Stunning work. Lev going to be over the moon with converting that bonus.
Nice shooting there, Tex. But an early death from Benji Fishy down at middle. That was the thing that opened up right here. Opens up the rest of the round, the pivot back to B. And with that double controller, Lev is going to be able to do all these audibles, these back and forth, push-pull type of attacks right now. And they have the perfect players for this as well. Tex is very strong at taking those individual duels if you unleash him around middle.
I mean, Tex is 7-1 currently. He's absolutely coming in on point, on form. And this could be another farming opportunity. Light armor everywhere, Sheriffs, yes. They're going to hear this. They should be pretty aware of what's maybe around that corner, so I hope to see a very diligent, cautious approach from Lev without leaving it too late.
Pretty good read on the situation. Boo's got that deep line towards B, jump spotting, till he gets pressed off that issue. Team Heretics is going to keep the stack. They had this on pistol round. Benji got 3 from this location, but Lev is peeling off.
Oh, but I like that. Going to note that at least they're starting to re-clear over towards A.
And that turret up from Tex at that A push. Gonna get that information. Boo can't progress further than this.
And again, yeah, they can't rotate. They're still holding players here. That's nice from Boo, but one's all you're gonna get. A big trade from Aspas, and Tex just hunting. He's out and about looking for any potential victims, but they've somewhat passed by already. Up towards Kitchen as the plant comes in from Azino. Oh, mini Boo, just a shot in the dark.
Find.
Yeah, straight up blind. The Dizzy Flash going to be in play. Aspas got to be cautious. Forced to fall away. 30 seconds. Suddenly, we're in a little bit of trouble here. And he's got no way out of this safely.
30 seconds left.
But where does the spike go? Looking to alleviate some of the pressure. Tex is unleashed in middle. But there's util to hold him back. But he's trying to be a problem, be a nuisance. They've got bodies on the site still. Aspas down to 57. Trying to take point for his side. It's not clean enough for Tex, but he's turning attention. 10 seconds now. They've got to get a kill, and they do. Aspas creates safety, but there's danger above as Rienz could be the disaster. Waiting to strike, but Aspas, the perfect bodyguard, but time is going to be tight. They got the spike. So close, but not close enough. Mini Boo, all right, big shots, but if anything, the round was the important part.
Massacred thrifty there because no trust in the teammate to cover, and it didn't even need to get the kill, just needed to drop down out of the sight there. Enough panic in the situation. This is where you need to value the end game, the win con. If you get off the plant, you lose. You need to trust your teammate, and if their teammate can't cover you, it's unlucky. But if you get off, this is what happens.
How can you not have faith in Aspas doing what he, like, out of all the players? You have to be rock solid in your faith. But now, though, we go back to business. It was a thrifty conversion. Heads back in the game here for Lev. Lots of ults to play with, seeing Aspas invest his into this round. 3 players in response, though, coming over from Heretics. We are going to see as well the Harbor ult on top of that. Aspas trying to take space over by screens. Pixel spotted, and maybe a victim found. Not going to get the fight he wants, and Heretics peel away. Okay, Rienz, you got to back yourself in some fights, I guess, but that one...
Swatted like a fly.
You should run.
King's still on the side, though, and Heretics getting closer now, trying to hold the line, though. King delivers 2 bodies, puts him to bed, Confirm up on top. Nice little spray, and he gets it done. Lev instantly correct the course. A mistake made, but made up for in the following round.
That was must needed for Leviathan as well to be able to come back into this, losing around this fashion that they did. Being able to come back and win this next round, it actually makes a big difference here. Yes, they got the first death in the round. It's a 4 versus 5, but these positions pushed up with that lockdown pressure as well. It's just forcing all of these players from Team Heretics to run around, not really fight together at all, and it's going to really affect their economic situation right now. Their economy in shambles, a few Sheriffs and a Vandal on the board. They're getting their ultimates online now. It's going to be so hard to be able to use them as well. LEV pumping the brakes, not doing a fast opening here. We've seen them deny the pressure towards A. Now we see them deny info towards B.
But it's all about timing, and maybe Benji gets it this time.
Just holding
Turret's
his off
still
angle,
there.
biding his time. The rotation from Heretics coming back to that A site.
They can gamble stack it. They're on Sheriffs. The big rifle is with Rienz. But beyond that, Sheriffs and hope, pretty much. I don't think he saw what was around that corner, but Benji getting curious down tube again. Silence across the map, hard to read.
It's going to be a very tense situation here as soon as first contact is made.
They get enough of a read on that. Maybe just feeling the pressure, but they're close. They're already so
Ball
close.
goes up.
Deeper towards Maze. Rienz, again, he is the one to watch here, the one with the rifle. Lev cautiously and carefully taking step by step towards the site. You're looking at Rienz closing on the gap, but his Kings take away Minibu. The support system
Big.
starting to fall. Couldn't get the follow-up, and Lev now should lock this down. This should be security, and it is. There's a reason they are this strong on this map. Heretics yet to fully make an impact here.
Heretics needs to find an impact and fast. They have so many ultimates up in the board, but they're bleeding rounds. And yes, this map skews slightly towards that attack side. It's easy to pick up those rounds, especially when you're push pulling so easily with the double controllers. But Heretics, they're not hitting their shots. And it sounds really vague, but they're also not fighting together.
Individual, they're isolated. It just feels like they're overwhelmed on these sites.
Whereas if you flip it on the other side, if you look through the lens of Leviathan right now, they're moving together. They're making sure that they're taking the time. As soon as those walls go up, they move together. Yes. And anytime someone's taking a fight, it is traded at the very worst. Except for that other round where Aspas was floating through the air, gets taken out. Everything's been shoulder to shoulder.
Perfect positioning. Yep. Really good fundamentals. Now, the way the veto was going to go, the way the traditional bans go for these two teams, you kind of expected Icebox to be the first port of call.
Yes.
Right? If that's available and you're LEV, you're going to lock that in. That's fair. It's what follows that scares. I think even the desk kind of were taken aback for a second there when we saw Haven coming out. Lotus, sure, but that's not a bad map for LEV. And to go down in this sort of fashion, getting kind of overworked here, getting run over, it's very hard to recover. So this is going to be a tough test for Heretics. I feel like LEV have an absolute upper hand here.
It's a big test for Heretics. They had to have known that this was going to be the map that's in here. They know that they're not strong on the map. So it's all a matter of how are they going to approach this map? How are they going to deal with it if LEV does pick it up? It needs to be in their understanding, yes, this is likely going to be a loss for us. We have not shown that we're strong on this map, but how are we going to rebound for the next maps to come back? And for a rookie team like this,
it's tricky.
It's very tricky.
And I mean, their form mostly got brought into question when we were talking best of fives, longer series. That was a bit of a different situation, but this, we'll see how it affects them. For now, though, LEV still need to, you know, stay the course. They still need to be able to stick the landing on this. Heretics are no slouches. I can't stress that enough. I think Rienz was a sharp reminder of that in some of the previous series. The guy was monstrous, but hard to get things going. And once again, LEV, traditional start. Looking to approach towards that A site. And really, as it stands, only one dedicated. It's going to be Woot hit.
So important for him to get one and live, or just live. Wait for the team to come in. We were just highlighting how LEV is so shoulder to shoulder, getting those trades. Team Heretics has been so spread apart. It's one thing if they're hitting their shots, but right now, LEV is getting the better of them.
And the tempo feels nice from LEV here. And Rienz, I mean, wants to try and deny easy access, but just a hop, skip, and a jump, and it makes no effect.
This is all a ruse, though.
And they're biting on it, hook, line, and sinker. Did Benji spot anything?
But Benji's got his lockdown. This is going to be very difficult for LEV to be able to do anything. They're coming back to A. Just a fake pump back to B. Get spotted. Come back into A. The site is free. The Viper's Pit covers that plant spot. Minibu.
They're playing
so
them like
dangerous.
a fiddle. They are absolutely running rings around them. Free site plant. We're looking at the retake, though. It's kind of always postured for Heretics in that aspect.
I also looked at Tex.
Yeah, Tex, though, trying to catch that rotation. Perfect. Big delivery on towards Boot. Can they finish with a flourish? Keep this clean. 5 still alive for LEV. Woot trying to maybe lead the way. Forge them forward.
Big kills.
Back to back, but it's come on top. 2 kills. Aspas still holds. And it's all on Woot in a 1v2. Problems left and right, and they're going to know where he is. He might be just dead to rights here. He seems to have lost track of where they are, but Tex never did. LEV are the team on this map in my mind, and we're seeing it round by round.
It's so difficult to deal with the double controller when they have King and Tex constantly on the extremities, up through middle. The push-pull, starting in one side of the map and then shifting to the other. The double fakes, the pumps. It's really catching Team Heretics off guard. And right now, the only real way to get ahead of this is if you had a Jet with an op trying to pick them off as they walk around the map. But right now, they're on Neon. They don't have that Jet. It's hard to use some verticality. They're losing these rounds. They can't even get an op out.
And I guess, and I feel like I shouldn't say it because it feels fraudulent as a play-by-play caster to say, if anything, we kind of expected it to be this way. I think anyone with a bit of a mind for Valorant looked at the veto and went, well, map 1 is going to probably LEVs. It would need a massive change, something of that ilk. But I guess the big question mark is, what is the impact on the individual players? Do they suffer in these moments? Are they going to be kind of down on themselves, struggling then to pick themselves back up? Map 2, map 3 potentially? That's always the question mark. And how much does LEV get rewarded from a map like this? Confident display, feeling like everything's working too, because that's got to feel great. It's not just like the Aspas show, no, it's this lovely approach, the fundamentals wrapped up with a bow, and everything looking just peachy. Now, outside of that, yeah, they could still get a couple of rounds. This map is never over. I think we've learned that in Val. It can always change like that. But as it stands, yet to see that spark from Heretics. And Tex snuffing them out. I mean, Tex has been absolutely on it today. Already, pleasure to witness. Let's see if there's any signs of life. Not really. Tex just farming. There's only Boo to really do some damage here. That's another plant. And they just look so robust in this mini-Boo, just given nothing either. They're just really not allowing it until then.
Getting
First
something.
pick. This isn't bad. At least towards maybe disarming that post plant. But then you still have Comp, Hunter's Fury, Shock Darts. Still got Aspas, still got Tex.
Tex 6 HP though. Can easily fall.
But they gotta go. They gotta go now. They're running low on time. And no one's playing to them. There's nothing to be given. You have to take it yourself. And LEV not really feeling intimidated nor threatened by this. First Shock Dart invested.
Second.
And the second. And mini-Boo is barely alive. Oh, that's a shot! But it may be all for nothing. A pixel out of place, sure, Boo could do some damage, but the time is the main factor again, LEV. This is perfect to watch. If anyone wants to learn how to play Icebox, watch this.
It requires a lot of teamwork. It looks so deceptive because you look at it, it looks easy, but everything is so important. The communication about when you want to move from this spot to another spot. What Tex and King see on their respective positions at middle and at B to tell them what they can do. And just moving together on those tempos of when their walls come off cooldown, when the dart comes off cooldown, finding that first pick onto Woot, standing on the top of 410 there, walking up belt. Woot's not played there. That wasn't his first time up there. That was his second time. Oh, it's early Hunter's Fury. Gotta be.
Surely?
He was looking for it.
Kind of.
Decided maybe not. Okay. Maybe not against the Neon who can just sprint away.
Yeah, that's fair. Boo. I mean, he's been supported now with some additional utility from Benji, but
2-3.
See how he deals with it. Yeah, it's the first time we're seeing this like 2-3 split at least.
They're trying to force out a re-aggress from Team Heretics, but instead Team Heretics, they pop this Owl Drone. They spot one. They try to push and punish. They don't know what's 3 here though.
They're going to find out fast because they already saw the Harbor. They saw Mazzino earlier, but they found Com on the kill. So there is at least information there, and they're going to expect the follow-up. I like this proactivity, but there's still danger to this.
It was early enough in the round. 50 seconds now for LEV to be able to close out this round. 3 players for Team Heretics on the defense.
Going to take the contact. There should have been a trade on that. How is that disjointed? I thought that was on the absolute money. I thought they had it right, but apparently we were wrong all along. And now a 3v2. Couple of ults though here for Heretics. And they're cautious. You can see it with LEV taking their time. Plant's going to come in. And once again, you look at this post plant. King's got util, as has Tex, and Aspax can just take point. He can just hold this. Ooh, the timing. Okay, 2v2. Maybe. With the lockdown, this could be enough. But do they play forward? Do they fall back? Looks like forward is the answer for now. Tex getting interested, getting hungry, wants the kill. He finds the pointier end of the stick. Benji gives him a lifeline.
round by round is what Team Heretics is looking for here. And we can see them starting to warm up a little bit. That opening pick, it's a good start. Boo is starting to hit some shots as well.
Yeah.
It's not the first one that he's hit. Benji's had a couple of shots as well. But when we look at Team Heretics, who do we look for? We're actually looking at Rians and Woot a lot of the times.
True.
And maybe a little bit muted at the moment, not involved in the game as much. Good opening pick from Mini Boo, but in this 5 versus 4, they need to be converting these rounds way more clean. And right now, talked about LEV, shoulder to shoulder, getting those trades. See it again here, getting into this round. Comes down to 2 versus 2, but Team Heretics, they need to be able to understand this map a little bit better, and obviously it's one of their weakest maps, if not their weakest map outside of their permaban of Ascent. But they need to be able to fall back and make it so much harder for LEV. Early Hunter's Fury this time.
You wanted it before, now you're going to get it, but you can see the effect against the Neon. So hard to try and close that down, just skips away. Rien's got to be cautious, not get kind of spammed out here. He's kind of playing an obstacle course, it looks like. Nowhere feels safe, but once again, they're just putting bodies on this. There's 4 players here now, and they're not falling away from the site. There's 3 of them, back site. This is about to become a death match. And Aspas, I kind of fancy his odds. All goes up though, and a couple more question marks, but LEV keeping control, trying to stay composed under all the chaos. But it's Woot to fall and King to deliver. Mazzino now holding that side, make sure they can't counter push, but it's come from on top to find 2. But Benji again, the one to try and keep them in this. But where do you put your money now? Boo up against Com. Spike is loose, 50 seconds, he plays ahead of it. Com, good intuition, but a better shot from Boo.
Boo, the in-game leader for the team, trying to show the rest of the team, this is what's up. Follow me into battle, and I'm going to take you to the promised land. But I like how Team Heretics is doing the defense. And we see how good LEV is good at running in together. We see it from the perspective of Team Heretics right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving together. They're swinging 2,
Triple
3
swing,
at the same time, trying to get those trade outs. But what Team Heretics did better this round than the previous round is they're at the back of the site. They have their Viper wall isolating LEV. They put that Neon wall up. They're moving together. So step by step, getting better for Heretics, still trailing by 2.
Oh,
So gutsy. But you need this.
No, okay, he backs away. I was wondering if he was feeling really audacious, but it's Benji. This is an early test he hasn't had before. Tex this time beats his opposing number. So that's a massive pick at 1 minute 18. That's so early in the round.
And that's all the Sentinel abilities down as well. So that means that mid lurks are going to be very strong.
Oh, they're on the menu. Going to have the lockdown as well towards A.
This might be counterproductive. That Hunter's Fury setup for Rians, he knows he could get some collateral damage here as soon as that spike gets tapped. But Heretics was basically off of the site, so LEV, they go and they get that plant.
There's Hunter's Fury.
Gets stalled out.
Yeah, and now a pre-take towards the site. This is nice, really well timed.
And he picks him off.
That's perfect from Rians. And I've got to say, credit to Woot and Mini Boo for hitting that as the second that the Hunter's Fury came down. They're starting to get the tempo of this game. Finger on the pulse here, but the dangerous 3 still stand. Aspas, Tex, and King. Mini Boo getting curious. Oh, big punish. Good trade as well. Great spacing. But it is Aspas. And he always deserves a moment of respect here. Spike is left out of hand. Is there a way to divide? Oh, and he's starting to conquer! 10 seconds, pops the ult, a quick turn, he knows where he is. 7 seconds to play with. What does Boo do? He clutched before, and he's done it again!
Boo is doing incredible work for Team Heretics, keeping them alive. Multiple engagements in these clutches, back to back as well. He is pivotal for these guys. He's the in-game leader, and he's not known for being able to post up these huge numbers or get these huge rounds.
That's impact kills,
That is very high impact kills.
And give me the odds on that 1v1. And Aspas up against Boo 1v1 to clutch it out. Credit where it's due. This is 3 consecutive rounds. Maybe there is life in Heretics yet. You've got to say, LEV still lead by a good margin. They've shown a very good display, but there are answers being made by Heretics. They're getting that read on the game.
They're getting more confident.
Close as it may. Yes, and you can see it here. This time it's Benji winning that fight. Takes away Tex, and that was the trade out from the last round that went in LEV's favor. And now, they've got control here. They have this A-site control, finally.
I believe it was a little bit of a spam duel that Benji got the better. A killjoy diff at middle there. Boo. Valuing his life, sees this orb.
Oh,
And a spam kill for him.
that's so nice. Just catching a second of King. Just trying to get towards yellow, but the plant's going to be coming through. Can he deny it? That's actually going to sting a little on Com there. Does get away. Aspas gets detained. Woot's on the way. Boo's going to find him, and now suddenly they're down to 2. Com and Mazzino suddenly with a wake-up call. This game ain't so easy. And Mini Boo, I feel like he's kind of overcooked that a little bit, but luckily for him, it's only going to be Com in a 1v5. The defuse is happening, and Mini Boo's toying with his dinner. Com tries to stand, but will fall. And now we have a game on our hands. It got closer. Heretics woke up, and maybe there is more to be said about this one. A 5-7 scoreline is not out of the realms of reality here, Josh, but we still put our faith towards what we know, which should be LEV, but who knows how this one goes. Don't go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.
To 7. Now, the way this started, I thought this would be a clean map 1, Josh. I thought, you know what? Hey, it's going the way we thought. Fair play. And that's when we talk about the best of 3. Okay, going the distance, but Heretics woke up. They closed out 4 rounds, back-to-back at the end there. Is this put some faith in you, or is it still sitting favorably towards LEV?
It's a little bit up in the air. It's still favored slightly towards LEV. This pistol round's going to be huge. Remember, LEV got the first 3 rounds, including that bonus round. They lost with Thrifty, but instantly answer back and collect 8-1. But Team Heretics comes back with 4 in a row, led by the in-game leader, Boo. He is the one that we're looking to this match, but we don't expect him. If he buys enough time for Woot to come back online, then we're going to see a game on our hands. LEV, they still have the control of the ship. They just need to be able to close this out a little bit.
Looking at the Sheriffs. Tex and Aspas going for that. Everyone else on Ghosts and Classics pretty much. And Heretics on the attack. And we look at Woot to try and be an instigator here. Quite quiet on the first half, but this half is, it needs a lot of him to be involved. Obviously with Rienz as well, but still, his value certainly increases here. And a look towards B-Long, but the walk back towards A. Heretics, slow and steady as they approach the A site.
LEV spread apart 2-1-2 setup, only 2 to defend us A site, and Com would be the first point of contact here at Maze, but Rienz gonna pop that drone, follow it in. There's no Viper wall here. An orb still remaining for Boo. He pops this now. Looks like they're trying to get that spike planted on that wingman.
And Com is completely outdone.
3.
Heretics, very clean there actually. I thought they might have been a little bit dissuaded by the harbor wall coming through, but no, very well calculated on the way in. And now down to Aspas and King. They were the ones that were split quite far away. And Heretics not moving away from the site. Hard for any of the util to really force them away anyway. I don't think Aspas saw the pixels crossing through for Mini Boo. This is so difficult. It's just going to need belting shots, really, and no one's giving him a fight. First one does go down, that's Mini Boo, but you're right, time is of the essence. Spots out Boo, but they don't know about the other 3. This is so uphill, so arduous to try and turn around. Great work from Heretics, Josh. This was very well-made plans.
Round by round, Team Heretics has been crawling it back, and LEV, not sure if they use a timeout yet this game. They still should have 2 available if this game starts getting a little bit messy, a little bit scary for them. They came into this, one of their stronger maps, Ascent and Icebox being the top two. Trying to come in here, clean this, just take it just by storm.
Yeah.
But Team Heretics putting up a fight. LEV probably not prepared for this at the moment. If Heretics builds that confidence, if they're able to steal this map away,
that
it's going to be
changes things.
oof.
Yeah, that suddenly becomes a whole new script gets written. As it stands, though, we're going to see the Sheriffs out. There's 3 in the hands of LEV, one with Aspas, one with Tex, and one with Mazzino.
Scary.
They've gone for a stack, all in, 5. Heretics should go through their protocol list. You've got to hope. That should be 2 spotted. Wonder how much more gets revealed in the same moment. And with no pressure over towards B, you're going to be adding question marks to what's around that corner.
They saw multiple players there, including Aspas. Benji starts his walk, securing the close space for his team, but I mean, the fast rotation, the pivot, mini boost sliding around the map. It's going to be an orb and a wingman plant here. That's where the Viper wall is. It's going to protect them. Calm. You're going to try to deny that plant? It's so difficult. You have to wait and play the retake. Still, King sits back, waits to see if it's a fake or not. Team Heretics actually didn't go for that plant. They still have that wingman, but now there's 4 players for LEV. This could get scary.
And I hate seeing it get to this 30 seconds. I mean, 30 seconds isn't so bad, but there is elements of danger. If the spike plant gets denied, if something goes a little topsy-turvy, it doesn't. As it stands, Com does go down. Goes to the hands of Benji's utility. Split at least 1 towards CT there. And they're in a very comfortable post plant. Looking at any utility to maybe take that out of position. Maybe Mazzino can invest a little, maybe Tex, but other than that, it is the weapons in hand, and Heretics drastically outgunning them here in this round. So, should be a formality, but Tex has something to say about the matter, as does Aspas. Can they dismantle the 2 players on the side? But you gotta get going here. You gotta get moving. Aspas 10 HP, and he's still firing. Boo, though, it's where the buck stops with his side. He doesn't let him pass. Boo has been on the money.
Last half, LEV was able to secure and convert that bonus round. Now it's on Team Heretics to be able to do the same back to LEV and take the lead for the first time into this game. Right here, pushing up Team Heretics, getting in front of that harbor wall. They must have thought that they were going to get split apart there, so they want to play in front of that harbor wall to make sure that they play together. But the harbor wall was actually behind them. They didn't have to go for that push, and it got a little bit scrappy. It came down to the wire there a little bit.
Speaking of scrappy, bonus. 3 rifles, 1 SMG and 1 Sheriff. 1 away from Wood Salt, though, so that could be something they aim for here. Let's look at the early intent from Heretics. 3-2 split, but this time Aspas is on guard duty at B. They try and walk this.
Dangerous position to be
barrel, the gun in the way. He couldn't see it particularly clearly. Does go down to Boo's. Had his number throughout this game in a couple of clutches, couple of ends of rounds. Boo has been the big man. Now with an early pick, they can pause here. Still about a minute to play with.
Such high-risk play coming in from LEV right now. First Aspas, he goes down. Tex also stands tall.
Got to back yourself, I guess, but this is dangerous. And that owl drone could be actually dealt with. Perfect. The Dizzy does find him. Time to fall off. He actually tries to go back in, and the timing's just perfect.
Spacing.
And the patience pays. Oh, he even gets a second. Nice work from Tex to keep calm there. But Heretics righting the ship. Until then, Mazzino makes his stand on the site. Death from above with King. And suddenly Benji in a 1v2, but 30 seconds. And I told you once before about this guy, and I'll tell you it again. If he stands, there's always a chance. But does he predict Mazzino's reposition?
Benji thinks he's still back sight, but took the rope across silently. No idea.
But when does he consider it? When does he's got to think about it at some point. The timing is everything. 13 seconds. Mazzino's reposition was heaven sent.
Team Heretics falter. They had that opening pick on Aspas over at B. And we've seen this from Aspas. It's such a big risk to take in a moment like this where you play that 50-50 angle. You're against the bonus round here as well. Losing that round would have been huge. Just a really bad situation to be put in. But right now, Team Heretics, surely they lose the round, but that was the bonus. They're able to do a full purchase here, and they're keeping LEV really low on economy. What is LEV going to do to rebound from this? 4 Sheriffs and a Vandal coming into this next round here. And this is not the situation you want to be in, but still, with confidence, pushing up, trying to take space.
Sheriff.
Yep.
Now that Vandal is on the way. It's in the back lines. Kind of set into play by Mazzino. Did Benji here anymore? Maybe an additional step, who knows? But he knows his presence, and he knows that they've now got access at least to the flank. Now, is there a stack here? Benji making decent progress. Be able to hold this. Maybe wait to hear for rotations.
Lev.
Hello.
Oh.
He's going to hear that.
Benji hears everything.
Yeah, Babu's found his man. And now with the Killjoy going down, he's got free reign. Aspas aware, but he still dies. And now Benji can be a nuisance. He goes down. He could have played his life a little more there, cost them some time. But no, the plant's going to be coming in for Heretics. And now they can sit in the deeper post plant.
Boo still with the molly here for this post plant.
Com, he's got the rifle.
No cove, just the cascade.
Very difficult for them to get this done. And the ult going to come back through that to secure at least to the first attempt. There's no half achieved here, of course, they know that. So time going to run low. Now, you can see the layering of utility. They have to respect the timing, and they're trying to maybe disrupt that back line, and Miniboo's having none of it. It's clean work in the end from Heretics. 3 alive, and they handle the threats well.
Team Heretics again in the situation, 1 round win from taking the lead in this game. And we talk about it, how we come into this game. LEV, one of their better maps. Team Heretics, they're floating this. They have to. Do we expect this? Not at all. It's catching everyone by surprise, and now everyone's starting to heat up. Still, Woot a little bit quiet on the board, but Boo again, just opening this game up.
Papa here? Me, Papa.
And Mini Boo. Getting his own voice lines, I guess.
Apparently so. Lev, here's a change. Aspas, the timing. He didn't get seen. They have no idea, but it doesn't seem...
They know.
Now, yeah, they absolutely... You're right. Oh, Rien's the one to punish. And left looking almost silly here. And it's bizarre to me. It's not something we know that... We know that Heretics don't lean towards this map. We know that LEV have had this in their map pool towards the top end. But right here, right now, we are seeing Heretics poised to take the lead. We've questioned the form of Leviathan throughout this, I guess, tournament to an extent. We question Heretics towards the end of the online portion, qualifying to this, looking in slump potentially. But now, as it stands, they're in form. But still, 8 apiece. Tech's in the right place.
It's a good gamble read from LEV. They have that crossfire, but Tech's re-aggressing because they have the numbers. This is going to be a huge play or a big blunder.
Feast or famine moment for Tex, and it's famine. Woot finds him instantly. There was a chance there if things didn't go his way, and they don't. Mazzino tries to make something out of nothing, but Heretics taking the lead. Deep in what feels like enemy territory, they are up 9-8.
LEV surely needs to start using their timeouts at this stage in the game. They have to. They're letting this slip at the moment here. So many confident fights and so much aggression. And I wonder if that re-aggression from Tex in that situation, they had that gamble stack towards B. If he sits back yellow, he's got 2 other teammates to set him up, and they can deal with this attack. But instead, he presses forwards. Nice. His teammates can't trade him. Once he goes down, it's a 5-on-2. It goes from a situation where maybe you're only winning it 20% of the time, all the way down to like 5% of the time. So LEV, they need to make individually better decisions. They need to find their form again. Those first 9 rounds of that first half probably put them in a false sense of security, feeling like they could get away with stealing candy from a baby. But right now, the police are here and they're not letting it happen.
The analogy was questionable, Josh.
Sorry,
I was going to let you get away with it, but nah. I mean, we're still at a timeout. If you'd done it mid-game, I'd probably leave you with that. But yeah, 9-8. And the timeout comes in. We look at the economy as well. This is going to be, if anything, probably just Sheriffs and not much more. A couple of ults. Actually, tell a lie. They've got 3 of their ults already there, and 1 off from Aspas and 1 from Tech. So actually, big snowball round on the horizon for them here, potentially, if they can work towards that. On the other side, of course, Mini Boo sitting on his, Boo 1 off from his. I mean, we're going to have one of those sort of rounds pretty soon, where everyone seems to have it. So, 10 potentially for Heretics. And that's when I start really paying attention. LEV might have to sit back and suffer in this one. Just that Guardian. In the hands of Aspas.
A drone actually got canceled because Rien's got shot in the toe. A little bit of 19 damage or so. Now, Team Heretics wait for that Viper wall to come back up so they can walk across here. Hopefully not get spammed in the process. Benji just holding this A space.
Dizzy goes down as well, so Aspas still gets to hold the line. Sees something. Oh! He's so good! But one pick's not enough in this round, but taking away Wu is pretty important. It makes the plant more difficult. They have to put bodies behind it, and now they've got numbers leaning back towards B. Aspas on patrol, on duty. Another target, but no confirmed push off the back. And King, slipping back up to yellow, is lovely. That keeps safety here.
Benji starting his A-walk right now. Harbor Wall about to drop over towards B, but already the repositioning from Team Heretics. It's just Boo here trying to keep pressure, trying to keep the LEV players. But it's already a retake for Tex.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at Mazzino's timing. If he played down tube there, potentially, there is still going to be the utility in the way, though, so he's not going to get the freedom.
Hunter's Fury set up as well, in position
for this
tap.
He's so scary with this Sheriff, though, but doesn't get the shot he needed. Benji going to create at least security on the site to try and facilitate the plant. Com trying to deny by just buying time with his ult coming in. Lockdown going to come through as well, trying to create some sort of safety, but Heretics looking like they're about to secure the round here. It's forced a lot of utility. It forced a lot out from them. That's fair. And maybe it's not over yet. But a 2v4 with Sheriffs on against you. They're desperate to get Boo down, but he's such a nuisance. Oh, he's being such a pain. Really well done again by Boo. Credit here, just playing his life well, costing them time and potential towards the site. And the threat's been managed, and Heretics making it up to 10.
And LEV off the back of a timeout, unable to get anything done there. A lot of investment as well. That's two ultimates, Harbor and Sova, both not getting the value that they want from this. And again, Team Heretics is in the lead, finding these openings, really good pacing, understanding exactly when they need to activate and deactivate. Benji on a timing at A this round. He's done it already at middle once. And Team Heretics staying a step ahead. LEV just too split up on their defense, not fighting together. That is the Blade Storm popped for Aspas. He is over towards B, and it's the same opening setup for LEV every round. And Team Heretics, they've been taking this A space. They've been holding the pushes at middle and B, waiting for LEV to get in the faces. LEV hasn't really pushed through all the way yet this game, but their defense holds. We talked about them on attack, shoulder to shoulder, 2-3-man swinging things together, getting those trades, but right now, falling one by one.
And it looked like Heretics were trying to maybe predict or expect some aggression off the back of that ult here, especially when you're looking at where Benji was and to add to that Boo as well, but ooh, turret stays up.
Mazzino always positioned towards this boiler angle to deny that Molly from taking out the turret, denies those late lurks from Benji or from Boo.
That's lovely. I think they're getting a good read of the approach now.
It's going to be tough. As soon as this Harbor Wall goes down, that's going to be the Viper Wall to be recycled in. But already
We're trying to disrespect that, at least with the Dizzy. You see the
pair.
stuns coming in. They've got the site. Yeah, we're going to have the Hunter's Fury coming on towards this as well. Com going to just swing on in, but Heretics holding this site well. Mazzino has to respect the ult at the very least,
Viper's
but there's
pit.
3 players to try and handle, and they're not getting what they need. King and Aspas. Ult with Aspas. Rifle with King. But the ult on the site makes it hard to connect for Aspas. He doesn't get fair fights. Normally, he doesn't need them. Right now, he's being given nothing. They're not playing to his song by any means. And Heretics might have just teed up 11 here. Aspas another step closer, but a victim found, but a good trade. Boo, keeping those numbers favorable, and King going to be forced back to heal as 11 rounds is going to be carved to the board here. And I think a lot of us doubted this map, and rightly so. Off of statistics, off of history, out of anything we know about this. But as it stands, when you get to champs, that all goes out the window, apparently. It is 11 for Heretics, up against LEV on Icebox.
another timeout is available if LEV needs it. And at some point, they need to take it because right now, nothing is connecting. Team Heretics, Boo, leading by example on that defense, keeping them in the game, winning some clutches. Now on the attack side, calling perfectly the tempo, the pacing to open up the round, where they go in their mid-rounds, the audibles that he's calling.
It's been a great game of calling, at least from Boo, to say the least as well. Considering how much impact he's having fragging-wise as well, it's very impressive. And now we're going to see LEV clutching at straws, struggling to get a grip on this game.
Initial pressure from Team Heretics. They broke that Killjoy turret finally. Re-ends with the drone. This is going to force this fight. LEV, do they push through with it or do they back off as soon as they get spotted here? Woot.
Oh, they're so ready! They're ready for the aggression last round. They're ready for it again. The only thing that went their way was King finding Boo. That's it. But the site falling into the hands of Heretics. Mini Boo taking so much space here, making sure that plant will be secure.
Spike planted.
Cove still available for this defuse. So much ability for Team Heretics right now. And here comes the thrash. Oh, Aspas slips by.
I mean, he just didn't get the impact that he wanted, but maybe a chance made here. 2v2, and Mazzino hungry for the kill, leaving Rienz in a 1v2. Diffuse already started, he's been dealt with. Finally, LEV finds stability, pushing up to 9, but they are the ones trailing here.
A little sign of complacency from Team Heretics in this post plant. Didn't reset. They had so many abilities to work with. They had mollies, they had thrash, they had shocks. And instead of falling back and playing their post plants that we know them for, Sunset, Abyss, especially at that B site, they love these spam battles. But here they play up and they get spread apart. Aspas finding that opening, and from there, LEV converting multiple kills back to back to back. Team Heretics still in the lead. They just need to be able to get to the finish line here.
Placing swarm grenade.
Chance made, though.
Another A opening for Team Heretics and LEV. Tex and Aspas, very aggressive positions. Tex holding the bottom while Aspas holds that belt line. Team Heretics with a Dizzy, gonna pop off of this. We're a drone.
Last round, we saw Tex in this sort of position being forced off by that Dizzy. This time an easier evacuation for Aspas, but a lovely re-aggress taking the Space Blade maze. Oh my god, wait, Heretics are fighting back and Miniboo trying to, I don't know, trailblaze his way through the site itself, but LEV finally standing together, but Benji, yeah, run, Mazzino, because that would have been a 1v1 and it would have been untradeable. And now the timing is right. Leviathan reminding us who they are. This is their map. This is their choice. And that's Benji dead on the ground, 11 to 10.
Still timeouts. Still a few rounds left. Team Heretics is gonna call it. Get the coaches involved. Talk about what's going on. They're getting the space at A. It's free. But they're not really utilizing other parts of the map at the moment. They're not using middle. Benji went there a couple times early in the half, haven't gone there since. Boo, he's just sitting outside B. He's not really advancing in that situation. He sits around garage or he sits around spawn. He doesn't press up either. So right now, not a lot of information coming out, not a lot of pressure or threats dealt with. And LEV just hold their spots, and right now they're starting to fight back as well. Not necessarily with like insane setups or anything like that, but they're fighting together and they're starting to hit their shots. And that's going to be dangerous for Heretics if they don't have perfect plans. Right there, they tried a set piece, but they didn't need the set piece. They've been winning by making this push-pull. Instead, they give a little bit for LEV to get back in the game here.
Yeah, starting to see Mazzino have that impact as well. Starting to see Tex. And again, it's not the Aspas show. It's not just this, you know. And again, Aspas will always, it feels like he'll always do enough. He's always one of those players who will find value. But this, to me, has been held together by Tex and Mazzino. Those two have been spot on. Now, this is 2 rounds. A timeout has come in, and we've given a lot of credit to Nilzinho, to Weber, especially throughout EMEA, in their impact in these timeouts. So let's see what they've cooked up here. No ults to depend on. They are 2 away from the lockdown. That's the closest. On the other side, LEV still have Mazzino with the ult. They've still got the Viper's Pit with King. They've got a lot on the horizon. They are not out of the woods yet, Heretics. Even in the lead, LEV starting to wake up.
Looks like a maybe pace change from Heretics here, but a different wall coming out for the defense, slowing that B in the mid-approach here. Looked like for a moment, Benji and Boo wanted to progress towards middle here. Fake pressure towards A. Team Heretics hasn't really shown this, where they pressure towards A, push them off, and then instantly transition back. And it's going to be a 3-2 split towards that B site, B main being that first point of contact. They still have drone. They have that Dizzy. It's going to be a lot of loud noise, but right now, only Benji gets spotted. He's the normal lurker. They shouldn't expect 2. And with double initiator towards B with this Neon, it's going to sell everything they need to slip the gap through middle. LEV, I don't think they're going to be prepared for this at all.
Oh, King is on the chopping block here. I'm a little worried for him, but Mazzino not far away. The timing. Okay. Oh. Okay, he's still alive.
He might pop his pit as well.
Caught by the Dizzy, but he gets back to safety. There's the push, though. Straight up middle, that is going to cut off any support. So it's on Mazzino. It's on King. They're on an island, and the support is still pretty far away. Benji, they're just on the other side of this pit here. King, he's waiting, and says hello, Benji, carving through them like a hot knife through butter. Heretics taking over the site as Aspas and Tex finally make it back through towards B. But by now, the site's under full control. Heretics showing off here. Benji's timing was fantastic through middle there. Lovely work.
Economy very low, but they could still afford another buy. LEV looking for an opening into this round to see if they can go for this. If they don't get it in the next 5-10 seconds, they're just going to fall back and save. Right now, Aspas thinks he's got a chance. It's going to back off now finally, and a lovely switch up from Team Heretics in that situation as well. That timeout coming in, the coaches probably making that call, seeing that gap.
They need these rifles as well for LEV. You're looking at the economy, it's something you were noting, it's getting a little bit close to the wire for some of these teams, but 12 is made for Heretics. At the very least, overtime secured here for them. For LEV, they're 2 rounds away. Now they are able to fashion a purchase. I think they've got everything they need, so that's one thing, but they are lacking in ults, anything else to kind of tilt those scales.
I'm looking at the economy. There's enough to purchase an op, but Aspas hasn't played with an op all game yet.
No, haven't
and
seen
Team
it.
Heretics, yes, they have that Neon. Yes, they're using some of that speed. They have that Dizzy and that drone. But also Benji and Boo, they're alone in a lot of these situations. It could be really strong for Aspas to pop this out and get in their faces. But right now, opting to use the Vandal. And again, another 2-on-2 spread apart for Team LEV. Team Heretics going back to what was working the first few rounds of the half, taking that A space, popping that drone. They're going to follow up with this as well.
I like how far Aspas is actually walking with King here as well, really securing, making sure they're clearing those back lines and ensuring some confidence in this A hold, but it gets a little bit scary. Again, they may have good information. They are still held back by the utility.
It's a 5-on-3 though at A site.
Yeah, not easy to overcome. There are the numbers here. Tex, will he be noted on the Dizzy, on any of the utility that comes in?
Here come all the set pieces from the attackers. That Viper wall can isolate them, but Tex needs to go big.
He found a pocket to play in, and he can only punish one. A good trade, a 2 for 1. Heretics gonna be happy with that. Com is still backside. The lurk is on the way. Closing the gap now. They are surrounded here, Heretics. Players left and right, but Com needs to show presence, and he does. Takes away Rienz, and there, striking from the back lines is Aspas. Good trade for Benji. But they don't know about King, and this guy is ice cold. Takes away Benji, leaving it all down to Woot. Can he find a fair fight? He's looking for one. Doesn't spot King here. Oh, this is a nice reposition. It's audacious from Woot. They don't have... Oh, there we go. He's been seen. Ooh. Com just snapping up there to it. That flank was so important, and Com playing his life really well, still holding space on the site, was so important.
The disconnect, though, for LEV on the 2 sides of the map, pushed up all the way through B. They know it's going to be an A hit. They have that cascade. It's going to go down. All they have left is themselves, the 3 of them on that site, and that Viper wall that cuts the site in half. But Tex is alone in front of it. If he doesn't get at least 2 there, his positioning is not good enough. And he only gets 1. He falls, his teammates fall, and the site goes down. That could have been a very bad way to go out of this map if you're Team LEV. Aspas coming in the backlines with King, save the day.
Right here.
And
One more chance.
Team Heretics actually starts towards B this round. Every round so far has been towards A at the start.
Oh, instant Hunter's Fury as well. Com is so good at this. A blind send on it, but it's Mazzino with 2. Rienz does take him down, but it's good numbers for LEV as OT seems like it's on the horizon. Rienz and Boo, though. We've talked a lot about Boo, and for the right reasons, but the timing on Com here could be perfect.
Oh.
He's got him. Okay, I didn't know if he noticed the barrel or not, but he did. Oof. He's lucky there, sitting a little bit deeper to not get caught by that.
I have the spike.
Rienz. He's had impact before, but a 1v4 here, that's
Tall
a lot
order
to ask, yeah. Quite happy to see this go OT. Give us a real game between these 2 heavyweights from EMEA and the Americas region.
Tex has Rienz contained, though.
Yeah, high-low. How you meant to... He knows about King. Again, so close. He's desperate for a pick, and they're just not giving him much. If anything, they're giving him nothing. Again, all the utility just being worked through. He's giving it a damn good... Oh my god, go! You caught me for a second there, but it will be OT. And this is the depth when you look at LEV, right? This is the capability we know that they can have. That resilience there, that ability to turn games around. We saw it at the very end. They were under the heel of the Heretic side, but now finding that resurgence. And again, got to give credit here, in my mind, Zeno doing wonders for them.
Look at the
I told
flip
you it was
side.
mid B. I told you it was mid B. I told you it was mid B.
Told him it was mid B. The attack side right now is falling a little bit flat. I was talking about Boo. I was talking about his calling and his game plans. But towards the end of this game, the last 5 rounds, LEV has won 4 of them. And the only round that Team Heretics was able to pick up was off the back of the timeout, presumably where Niels or Weber came in and made that call.
Yeah.
So switching the sides, Team Heretics back on the defense for this first round of overtime.
Okay.
Split pressure. LEV's going to push back A site, and there's nothing Team Heretics can do with the Cascade, the drone. It's just forcing them off the angle. It's all on Boo right now.
Christ.
We saw Aspas in a similar position. Got wrong on the 50-50.
What a gamble at a time like this.
He's got to be feeling it. There's no other way.
He was towards the top of the board. I don't blame him, but
That
there are 2 players.
That reclear towards A, though. Spotted nobody. Boo.
Boo, are you ready? Yeah, okay, checked on. Really heads up work from LEV to be so diligent in every step they're taking.
That's actually really good for LEV right now. Because the drone, the Dizzy, didn't clear anyone. This dart now will, though. The jig is up. LEV, the fake is not working anymore. Boo, you need to keep your life, though. You need to back out. He's got his orb up, so he's going to be okay here. But now that LEV got spotted at lower A there, now they want to fall away.
You can see the read here. Benji already starting to come over to try and help Boo, but they are encroaching on the site. They're at the door. More than knocking, they're breaking it down. Spike's over here now too. Boo trying to keep a little bit of space, but again, he can't fight too hard for this. He has to keep his life as well. CT might be overwhelmed here. Already Tex looking that way. Already looking at Aspas taking that space too, but Boo's still on the verge. Holding back site at the very least. But they don't know about CT yet. They've got to be aware of it, and I think Rien's going to try and secure this and make sure they know about Tex. But he's buying time. He's costing them this retake here, but Boo and Mini Boo in unison breaking back through. Aspas can't do it all! And Heretics, known for the retakes, might just take this one back as well. Com would be in a 1v4, it ain't happening. First in OT for Heretics.
Boot hasn't been hitting shots all game, but he sends up that Dizzy, lets the Dizzy shoot out, gets the blind on multiple targets right there. Team Heretics move together within the span of 2 seconds. 4 players go down for Team LEV, and right now they have to call that timeout. They're looking at that map win right here, 1 round away for Team Heretics. The name of the game right now has been Team Heretics. Their defense, they only got 4 rounds on that first half. They get that pistol going into that second half. Round by round, they crawl back. They get a little bit of a buffer, but then they fall flat. They need that timeout to call that strat. Now that LEV calls a timeout, guess what? Coaches,
Bumped up.
they are
Rightly
really
so.
pumped. The coaches for Heretics can get involved now.
Yes.
Right the ship a little bit. What is Heretics good at? They're good at these 5-man, hit the site, get that post plant, and spam them down. But on a map like Icebox, especially when you're on single controller, it's difficult to get in there. You're getting stalled out constantly. Viper walls, Harbor walls, there's Killjoy utility, there's drone reclearing, and then there's Aspas just getting in their faces. So it's hard to get in, get that clean execute, and then fall back, and they don't have enough utility as well for those post plants. But I like what they are doing, trying to utilize middle. I want to see them utilize middle again here. If they want to close out the game, that's going to be their go-to. They know LEV starts 2-1-2 very often. Deny that molly on that boiler to take out that turret. Is it going to be the same opening for LEV? If so, that might be a good fight for Team Heretics to take. Go up and swing middle.
I'm a little interested in what the approach is here, because LEV starting out with 4 players on the A side, leaving just 1. It's just King.
They're doing it, I think, just for the wall or the cascade. Then Mazzino's going to peel off, let his teammates get set up. He stays.
The timing on this.
King.
I'm so scared for King here. They've explored deep, that's fine, but King's got to be really, really careful trying to defend his kingdom. Falls away towards site and has to kind of do what Miniboo was up to, or excuse me, Boo was doing in that first round of OT. Taking the space and playing it very well. Mazzino.
Stepped.
Did Benji notice it? I mean, we're in LAN, the audio is different here. It's hard in a live environment, and actually rewards across the map for LEV. Middle controlled, A controlled. They're eyeing up B. Walking into somewhat of the unknown. That harbor wall, denying information, vision, and any fights thus far. King getting deep by Snowman. 2 towards site. That's going to be Mazzino and Com.
I'm not even sure if the wingman can get into plant, but he's going to walk up all the way.
Dizzy going to go deep here. Don't think that catches Mazzino. No, they're none the wiser. And the second attempt here going to come through with at least wingman. Hold on, they're clearing through the site. How have they done that? How is it? Oh, okay, King, that's not bad. The timing on that is great, but Tex could be the downfall of it all. Tex's timing is so good, but it's Rien's. This guy can clutch, but a 1v2 ain't gonna be easy against 2 heavy hitters here. Tex and Aspas, the corner held. He spots one, not the other, and now he sees them both with Aspas. Keeping hope alive here for LEV in map 1. Diffuse gonna come in and tie us all up.
The 2 highest rated players at the tournament, I think, if I was reading the stats correctly, just head to head right there, and almost a lineup coming in the favor of Rien's to close that out. But LEV are able to sneak that away. That was a 2K opening, a 5 versus 3 that needed to be converted for LEV, and it got so close. I love what Team Heretics did, though. They made sure that they got close. They didn't instantly send the wingman out. They got the 2 kills at the same time as the plant. Huge.
Bro, he killed me through the wall for no reason.
Well, accidents happen. 13-13, tied up. Back and forth right now.
It's gonna be a long day, and I can't wait for it. I got nowhere else to be, and this is some damn good Valorant here. Pacey looks like towards A. Let's see if they try and actually go behind this. Com clears close, sees a whole lot though. They retake the space towards Maze, holding that corner just a second. But I think they're trying to feel out if there's real commitment behind this.
LEV definitely looked like they wanted to do a tempo change, to actually commit through. But once they got stalled out, the drone didn't get any value. They didn't find an opening there. They choose to back off. They leave, though. Tex inserted an A. That alarm bot to secure, to see if there's a re-aggression. But this bait setup at B, we have not seen this before from Team Heretics. Miniboo behind yellow. Boo gonna set him up for a multi-kill. Right now, Com, he has his dart. It's so important for Boo to break this dart so that Miniboo doesn't get spotted here. But
well, time to go.
As I say that,
time to evacuate.
But it's back to A now. Tex leading the charge.
Benji. Seen one, he cleared the util as well, so they've got to be able to keep some sort of confidence that the hit's coming to this side. There's no further contact towards B, already rotation from Miniboo, but Tex is at the door, and he wants to take this space, he wants that control, and the timing, their spacing was on the money. It was perfect before, and it might just be again. Benji with a good trade, brings it back to a 4 apiece, but Aspas can only do so much. Time, we're down to 12 seconds, King in control, gonna get the plant, but it's Boo still alive, and he's been clutch as hell. But the Viper's pit is that, whoa, he's seen both, he's seen both! Boo can't do it this time! King reigns supreme as LEV finally take back the lead.
Boo's been so clutch and crucial for these guys, round after round. Finally, he loses out on the side of a clutch right now. Team Heretics, down around, they can lose the map right here. They have to call this timeout, get the coaches involved again. How are they gonna bounce back? They have their attack side. But everything's been these 5-man hits. Mid hasn't been working for them. Benji got inserted, but the tempo, the pacing is not there. Team Heretics, are they going to do something faster? Everything so far has been priming LEV for these A hits. When A hasn't worked, they've gone B. But again, it's all on the coaches right now to make this impact.
What a hard position to be in, and it's actually, looking at this, it looks like Neil's taking most of the lead in the conversation.
They look calm.
Yeah. Again, if you're talking bigger picture, we didn't even think this would be a close map. I mean, it feels like we're kind of talking
especially 8-1 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you look at how this started, you looked at the veto, you thought, okay, map 1's probably going to be LEVs, that's fine. You look at the later map, well, that's when it gets closer. but actually we've seen a very good game from both sides. Pretty electric, pretty high quality, and I mean, the caliber of both teams, you kind of expect that, but yeah, to see it in actualized is highly impressive. Right, LEV back in the lead. Heretics held down on 13, timeout just hit. It was a set piece before coming out for Heretics. It was that kind of working through middle, split towards B a little bit. It was very nice. This looks different already.
We saw the same opening from LEV's defense last overtime round, but Team Heretics postured towards A this time, Benji over towards B. We haven't seen him taking that duel yet, so it looks like Team Heretics might just do a fake opening here. But Tex, so aggressive.
And he's rewarded with it as well. Mini Boo beheaded. And they can back away, knowing they've done so much damage so early on.
Wait.
Hold. King, careful. Careful. He's outnumbered. That's the floodgates potentially open. They could evacuate. They could bail away from this if they want to.
4 and 4. This is where the mid-rounding comes into play. How are they both going to respond? Right now, the kill happened on the Viper towards B. Team Heretics, are they going to go back to B, or are they going to hit towards A again here? LEV keeping that 3-man gamble stack here. Trying to gamble stack, maybe re-aggress and re-clear an area right now, but
Zeno walking mid as well.
It's a full commit towards B. Benji's alarm bot still in play to stop that middle push. He's got his turret as well. He hasn't placed this yet. He's going to go back and place this to deny any sorts of flanks right now.
The deep dart just came through towards A as well, so they've got security knowing there's nothing coming towards this A side.
They got to hit this timing, get that spike planted ASAP.
But they're so worried, they're so paranoid that there's still players here. The confidence starting to wane as now LEV are on the site. They've made it in time.
Full stack.
And you've got the rotation coming in, the flanks on the way, and already Benji's gone down. The plant is in place, but it's a 3v4, and they have no idea about Mazzino. Now they do, and they deal with him quickly enough. A 2v3, but boost position.
Wait.
How much can Woot play this in? Do they have anything to clear this space? Oh my god, Aspas. They have no idea! Boost strikes! But can he hold back the rest? He'll need help here from Woot. Does he get to reposition? Oh, he got scanned! The timing! So perfect! And now we're in a 1v2. He
No way!
do it! LEV bringing them to their knees! A glimpse of what it would be like, snatched away! LEV, maintain composure, resilience, and show that pedigree here.
Team Heretics has to be gutted off of that. They do have Lotus to rebound on at least next map. Icebox, they probably didn't expect that, but there's always time to rebound.
Tasting like citrus and fruit, burning slow and sweetly. Too shy to call you alive when you said you need me. In a week from now, I'll be trying not to call you. Talking myself down.
What an exciting start that was to this series. I'm now standing by with Leviathan's head coach, Itopata. Now, you guys had a really great start into this map, but as the side switch, Heretics, they were getting back into the game. So how did you manage to finally close it out in overtime?
I think the Neon really messed up the way that we're usually playing, so we weren't really ready for what she brings to the table, and it took us a lot of rounds to figure out how to counter that. And you saw that towards the end, our defense was a lot better, especially in overtime.
Incredible start. Good luck on map 2.
Oh man, Heretics almost had Leviathan on Icebox, a map that they have become quite prolific with throughout the course of their time in Americas and throughout the season. And credit to Heretics for taking that one as close as possible. But Kukuka, there were some pivotal rounds, the pivotal rounds that brought LEV back into this game. And man, I genuinely thought Heretics had that one locked up.
Yeah, we were just hearing it from the coach, especially when that second half was happening and Heretics was on the verge of making that comeback happen. After Boo had those insane rounds, they actually learned how to counter every single thing that they were doing from the attack.
Yeah, Leviathan, I think in OT, took some really calculated risks, going for some walk-up plays and disrupting Team Heretics before they set up for a lot of these side executes. Miniboo didn't have an outstanding map, but on this attack side, I think what Itopata was saying was very true. The pace at which this Neon can take space, especially early, disrupts what Leviathan normally does. They're a team that on their defense has a lot of ideas for kind of taking early space on the defense. Even on the attack side, they play similar with a lot of these push-pull ideas. And that fast-paced Neon that's going to be going forward for space, using that stun, is really tough to play against the first time.
It is many different combinations that we have seen of the compositions here when you do not play the Jet. Some teams decide to play it without a duelist, but putting in the Neon, it gives you a little bit of more rapid movement, rapid rotations. As you're saying, going in with the extra wall and with the stun can be a lot. So it's very important. It was very important for LEV to understand when it was the moment to stop it, and it was exactly right before the spike went down.
And I think Heretics prep was actually pretty good on this map as well. They did a great job of disrupting the set retakes that Leviathan likes to play here. They were fighting deep in their post plans, not giving LEV time to set up in those default ideas. LEV really had to rely on a lot of heroics to bring things back into OT.
I was going to say just that, a lot of 1v1s, a lot of close engagements. In fact, one of these is our HyperX reflex moment. Actually, I'm going to say HyperTex reflex moment. Because it's a 4K from Tex, baby.
We're on fire today.
Hey, it's my last day. I'm rolling with it. Sorry, Chad, if you're thinking it's cringe. In any case, though, look at this. I mean, Tex, again, has continued to be a gift for this team. In the early part of Icebox, he was snapping. And it did cool down a little bit toward the end. But, man, he was having some big moments there.
One of the reasons why the game versus G2 got so close was because they were able to convert that bonus. There were some moments where Leviathan was not even like denying the orbs, and so many of those things were fixed. That performance from Tex, not only then, also at the end of the map, he was the one that made this win possible for Leviathan.
And the fixture of the rookie story from the Americas region this year has been on G2 for good reason. But Tex was on that team with them when they were the guard, when they were grinding things out to make it through Ascension and get their slot. He went his separate ways, took this opportunity with Leviathan, and now in his rookie year is proving his value on this roster. He has been so excellent at Champions. He was excellent in Americas.
I agree.
And he's playing a new role, switching over to the Sentinel this year.
You could say he's become the Tex factor. You see?
You could say that.
It's not stopping, you guys.
Let's go ahead and check what's going on with the Heretics side of things, and Yitsu standing by.
I've got Coach Neil Zenio here from Heretics ahead of map 2. Now, you guys are very meticulous when it comes to planning. I know you must have had a reason to choose Lotus against LEV. So is there anything about LEV's Lotus when you were reviewing them that you felt like you could potentially exploit today?
Yes and no. Like, their comp is something that we've run in the past, so we know it quite well. But for me, like, Lotus we're comfortable on. There was a couple of maps we could have picked today, but for me the most important thing is we fix our communication and our fundamentals for this next game, because you can do all the planning and stuff you want in the world, but if you don't play like a team, you're going to lose to a team like this. So we really need to step it up in the next game in terms of our comms and fundamentals, and the prep will back us up.
I mean, if there's anyone that can come back to you guys, best of luck on map 2.
Couldn't agree more on that. Of course, the prep that we see from Heretics did in fact get them a little bit almost to the finish line, I should say. Almost to the finish line, but almost isn't good enough when you're on that stage. Now you got to be able to pick up this dub, Mimi, on Lotus. This is, you know, we were wondering what was going to happen in this draft. Now if Heretics want to win, they got to do it in Haven.
LEV is a team that'll always have you on that final mile. No matter how good your prep is, they are resilient. They proved that on Icebox, but going into Lotus now, this is a comp that Leviathan runs that Team Heretics Bea are so familiar with.
I am scared. Like, my reasoning for them picking this Lotus is more on the line of what Neil was saying. Like, they had been playing the composition that Leviathan runs, and I understand that they get the key. But the composition that they play, I guess it's not about the composition, it's about who is on what, right? Seeing that them not playing best in slot, seeing how good it was, the composition that they played previously, and seeing some of the players struggle. I am sorry, but where is Wood? Like, for the entirety of the year since he joined, the effect that he had in Shanghai, and in these big matches, I feel like I'm missing him, and I feel like the rest of Heretics should.
Team Heretics should be confident, though. They're coming off of dunking on Fnatic, 13-3 on this map. They are yet to lose it, 3-0 at Champions Seoul. But Leviathan, I mean, you talked about that comp, the Neon, that Team Heretics kind of became known for in Stage 2, and it's Aspas locking in that Neon. The first time we'll see him on that agent this series, it's something that he's gone back to for the first time in a long time this year, and has looked excellent.
You know, something I actually did not realize is that the last time they played Lotus was in that map 1 at the Americas Finals. They have not played Lotus since, and this is for Leviathan, of course. So that definitely leaves the mind to wander on maybe they see something. Maybe there's something they could find a way to exploit. It definitely raises some questions when we see the agent selected a little bit here.
At some point, you put the eggs that you have left on a basket, and for Heretics, they decided to, as many teams say at some point in the tournament, play their own game, right? As we're saying, there's been quite a, not that long of a time, but there's been a time since the last time that Leviathan decided to play on this map. So it has to rely a lot on what they have prepared for the map and the mid-round call-in once we're into the game. And for Leviathan, probably they expected them to pick the Sunset and not the Lotus, and it would not be the first time that Heretics plays with the minds of their rivals. Back in EMEA, we would have them picking the Reyna, being like, yeah, they could have prepped for us, so we just decided to go.
My mind honestly goes to the fact that this is a big game. Obviously, for Heretics, you win this is huge. Then you end up in Haven next. So, like, they're like, my goodness gracious, anything can happen in this situation here.
Losing that OT, that was the opportunity for Team Heretics. It's going to be a really tough road to win this series now, but this is a good map for them. This is a great opportunity to turn things around, and they may be a young team, but they proved in Shanghai that they are resilient in positions like this.
Young, grizzled veterans at this point is what they seem to me, and for good reason, because they're journeymen. They've been through the slog.
At the end of the day is forgetting, yes, you were very, very close. We were talking about the Neon, but actually Aspas is going to go on the race, and we're going to see the head-to-head versus Minibu. He was struggling a little bit on that first half, but he was, you know, clicking very good heads on the attack.
I think that could be a big X factor for them.
Yeah, he's always been excellent on this role. It doesn't play all that dissimilar now that he's playing the Raze. You still have the set stuff around the breach stun, around those fade eyes, but those fast defensive rotations are gone in favor of having that grenade, and also in having comfort for Aspas.
Yeah, sure, you're able to clear with bot. There's a lot that you could do here.
Yeah, especially starting on the defense, having the fade, having the breach, the combos have to be insane for them to defend.
Well, this is it. Let's see if Leviathan can close it out here, or does Heretics force that map 3 to Haven? It's going to be a long journey, but let's send it back over to Pansy and Steel for the call.
And isn't that the question? Does Heretics have what it takes to pull this game back against a team like LEV, who pound for pound are exceptionally good, incredibly strong at what they do, but this map isn't high up in their map pool. So if there was a chance, Josh, it's now.
We're looking at Icebox, Team Heretics, one of their lower maps. Lotus, not one of the lower maps for LEV, but kind of somewhere in the middle of the pack. You look to their Ascent, their Icebox at the top of the pack. So Team Heretics has the chance to rebound. We saw what they could do on Icebox on one of their worst maps. What can they do here? How are they going to bounce back? And it starts with a pistol.
It certainly does. So, see LEV on the defending side. Heretics, easy Tiger on the attack.
So low, 1 HP on Mazzino.
Mazzino is still alive though, and there's still 4 players. Now 3, as you can see Mazzino backing away, but they've already got C control. Ooh, Tex, nice try, but still, site's theirs.
Between Tex and Benji and that first map of Icebox, the Sentinels trying to overstay their welcome, go down early. Right now, it's going to be a 5 versus 4 post plant for Team Heretics. They love these situations. Rians has that space waiting for that flank, but it's not coming in. So good setup here. It's going to be mainly through Waterfall, but they have that breach set up. Mazzino at that revolving door to create some sort of pressure, but it's going to be so difficult to break through, even with a 3-prong attack here.
Yeah, you can see the kind of
C's
stability
nade
being found. C's nade. Didn't get the value they were expecting. The Horn's very good though, and that does spur on Leviathan, but time is ticking. And there's just so many bodies in their way. There's not enough time for Aspas to do this. A valiant attempt, but Heretics hold firm.
A good effort for LEV. If they had numbers, if they had more time to develop that, well played. They had that seized, they had the paint shells for the retake. But Team Heretics, they got that info early. Rians spotted them, softened them up a little bit, stayed alive, the most important thing. And then allows everyone to get over to that C site, get that opening pick on the Tex, and then close it out. Now, Team Heretics is in the lead. They're in the control of the game. LEV opting to start with a very heavy stack towards A. Reach in a position to get a really good stun line off. It's going to secure them the space. But they're not going to get any kills with this. Team Heretics eyeing up that C site again. Spread default, waiting to see what sort of aggression comes in from LEV. Didn't really overextend at all on that Icebox in terms of pushing through places. Maybe getting a little bit of a contain. Rian's down to 5 HP though.
Living the life Mazzino had to deal with.
Oh!
That was like a heat-seeking missile right to the feet of Rien's. And now that's the man to the good. Hold on, maybe we've got something here. And Aspas and Com, they're not falling away from this. They're sticking around. Why not? Oh, the positioning from Com's nasty too. Aspas can do a little bit of damage. They've read it really well. That's fine. They've dismantled that little double stack. Very heads-up work. They've taken a lot of damage for it, or at least Boo has. So you've got to be a bit cautious about that. We are down to just the classics left, though, for LEV.
Keeping in mind, Team Heretics, they don't really do all that well deeper into the tournaments. If they win this series, they're in the top 3.
30 seconds left.
That's mad, isn't it?
We've seen some of the players on LEV, they've made it all the way. They've gone the distance. So it's on them whether or not they want to get another trophy under the belt, or if Team Heretics is going to, finally collect that torch. We're talking about passing it from Fnatic, the veterans of EMEA, over to Heretics.
10 seconds left.
Big win here is going to set that up.
Spike planted.
Okay, Benji gonna find King. So far, I mean, I was looking to see if maybe Tex could cost them a little bit, but again, they could still lose Boo and they'll still be fine. The bonus will be preserved.
Looks like Mini Boo is the first point of contact, trying to get some more kills here to get closer to his showstopper. But at some point, Team Heretics needs to evacuate the site so they don't go down with that spike. They're choosing that spawn route to go to. It's only Tex there with that Sheriff to stop them. But a good off angle. Might find one.
That's really nice. Tex is normally pretty sharp with that, to be fair. He does take down one. Does Boo get to the weapon? Yeah, okay. So they do at least keep the 3 that they were mainly looking to maintain. So the bonus will at least be somewhat protected here. A little bit of danger to it. But the ult for Aspas is here early, Josh.
Very early. Guardians up for the attackers. That means that some of these walls are going to be just cut through like butter. Tree room at A, on C side as well. There's a couple of angles there where you think you're safe, but you're not, especially that revolving door. So Team Heretics going to be able to set the tempo here, the pace of the game, going into this bonus round of theirs. That big showstopper is over towards that C site.
Okay, he's got out of there. Got a little worried that might have been punished at some point, but no one had pushed up this round, so unfortunate aspect of it, but King. Okay. I mean,
Spike down, C.
I don't know if I'd say that was good enough on a bonus, though.
Probably not. Team Heretics is going to get into a site for free. Those trips from LEV are over towards that B site. Same with that camera. But paint shells, showstopper still in play here. Waiting for the teammates to come. Mazzino stuns on cooldown. As soon as that comes off cooldown, though, they're going to start comboing with the flashes. Right now, the spread coming out from Team Heretics. Some on the site, some off. Taking that space towards Waterfall, getting in their faces a little bit.
That was helped out there. Woot gets to be played on off this. Aspas with a quick clear on Benji and Tex on the follow-up. It's Boo and Woot to try and dig their heels in. And Woot's position is nasty to deal with, but his HP is low. Down to only 38, but can he buy the time? Forced off the angle, forced to fight, and forced to be cleared. It's Boo now in a 1v2. The Guardian, the guy was clutch before, but this is a lot to ask. A little bit of a high-low here to handle as well. Not enough in the tank this time around, but for a bonus, that ain't bad.
Damage done, and this is looking a lot like the start to their attack side of that Icebox game, but it's on them to be able to set the tempo here. This is their map pick. This is one of their stronger maps, not their strongest map, but it's all about that start. Looking to some of these other players, it was Boo's game last game, but we need to see these other players getting involved. Mini Boo, yeah, he's kind of in there in a few different agents. Neon is probably not one of his stronger ones. He's on Raze here to make a difference. But again, I look to Benji, I look to Rienz. They're really playing off agents as well. We usually see them on Cypher, on Sova. So a little bit harder to make this little impact here.
Where are they? On. See how he handles the pressure. Door being spammed out by the Odin.
Attack side Odin, you don't get to see that often. Usually the defenders have that.
There.
The attackers respond in kind, but LEV has all that space towards C and towards B. So it's on Tex with the kill trips, the camera on that A site, playing for that retake. Team Heretics usually so good at closing out their post plants. Now they have that showstopper. They have the util. They could easily get into the site there and do a full util dump. But already I look at Benji's positioning towards C.
There.
Yeah, I'm looking at Benji, but I'm also looking at kind of common Tex. Very mindful in their positioning. Very aware that this could be the approach coming in, sitting quite safe towards CT. Moving away from Tree, as we saw earlier, with that spam coming in, even having Miniboo with that. Obviously, showstopper there is enough that you do want to be a little bit careful about it.
Comes the inch up towards B as well. This Benji versus Aspas fight can really set the tone of the round. The fake comes A, and now the pivot comes towards Blue Door.
Yep, they're really trying to lean through, but my eyes are still on Aspas. Whoa, big shot. Benji makes some space here, and the showstopper, if anything, just to pop out the chest by some time, plants there.
This is a tough retake for LEV. Right now, they can't access the Blue Door. They can't access B. It's just Heaven and Waterfall.
That was a good paranoia, but they aren't swinging off this. That did some, you know, I guess, impact to remove players away from at least holding this, but time to go for LEV. Not much to set this in motion either. It's dry fights. Very little util. King just going to take a stride forward, but he's beating his match on the other side, and Heretics just holding the line. Com does well to find two, but Rienz's position is a problem. They can't clear it in time, and now Mazzino's options are done for. Time to back away. Heretics have got a third.
Team Heretics is so strong. Once they're able to get into the sites, get their post plant off, that's when they love it. They succeed. LEV need to find a way to get ahead of this and stop those types of situations from happening. We haven't seen an op-up this entire game yet. Will we see one at all on this map of Lotus? Because if not, Team Heretics, they're just moving around so well. Benji getting that fight, winning it on Aspas at B, and then coming in with that audible. But it's pre-planned. When we look at Team Heretics, it's usually those elaborate plans are baked in with the coaches' comms and the timeouts. Here, they don't really call these mid-round audibles. But I like the plan. You saw it set up so far in advance. Benji's waiting outside C until it was time to walk up B. Mixed by for LEV, just the Vandal on Aspas.
Never just with him though, is it? Leading the scoreboard. Big performance here already on the Raze. Good in his hands. And the question with the operator is one that's quite poignant in my mind as well. Do we see that lent towards an option, certainly, for either side if they do feel it is necessary, but not really seeing it yet here. So that's going to be clearing the closer investment of utility, so still keeping a lot of pressure over towards A.
Guys, जो भी नहीं है जल्दी से like, share and subscribe कर दो, and Ruka पे भी like, share and follow कर दो.
slowly working the map. Team Heretics wants to find out exactly where everyone is. Collecting this orb. It looks like they're going to dump everything towards the C site. Second smoke just came off cooldown. They have the combos with the seized. Paranoia, the smokes. Zeno, very precarious position here.
Tex, his timing is always so good. Just give this guy a sheriff. He's actually outrageously talented with it. And why do I feel like he might get a little bit more here? Oh, not that time. Okay. But the lockdown is in play. He'll be forced to respect that. CCOM evacuating.
30 seconds
And
left.
actually, does King get out? Yeah, he does. He'll be fine. So they're going to be forced to back away from this. Spike, boo,
Spike,
spike,
boo,
boo, boo, boo.
He can't get punished in this position.
I just sounded like I was a ghost for a couple of seconds there.
And now he's got Nightfall.
Okay, that's big, but bloody hell, that just got way too close. But all three players, especially from CT, with that Nightfall, could be massive, big information. Does he opt to invest it? And you still, it's a stinger and a clap. Oh! Well, that's a shot and a half. Boo does become a ghost here now, as Rienz and Benji gonna have to try and hold this down. Rifles in hand, yes. And time on their side, but Aspas, beautiful moves, but it doesn't matter. But he's put to bed, but now a 1v2. It's still game on. Rienz the drop down. He's gonna, Rienz, you gotta run, boy, run! Oh, no! Wait, the time.
He has it.
He has it. That is outrageous. You gotta be kicking yourself if you are Heretics. That was messy, that was mistakes. That wasn't good enough.
That was not good enough. You're right.
Break it down for me as
Heretics.
well, like genuinely, because look at these situations. That's fine, that can happen.
Some of the kills there early on, getting into the 3 versus 3 was a little bit messy.
Sure.
Not the cleanest, but getting just picked off on the side there. Boo going back for another fight with that Odin was very questionable. He could have popped that Nightfall. He could have sat in a corner. They had a nice bait and switch setup going on. Odin sits in the corner. As soon as he goes burr, his teammate peeks from elbow, and they got this crossfire going. But instead, it's just these one-by-one fights right now, and LEV is so good at those. You can't give them those opportunities.
Spot on.
Cover going out.
For now, very different look. We do see a shaky purchase from Heretics. We have the Judge coming out, 2 Vandals, and then the Sheriff and a Stinger. Woot has, I mean, we've seen some nasty shots from this position, so King, the timing, real nice. Safety found, and he backs away. Good early work, man advantage, don't need to overextend now.
Good job working with that chaos as well. LEV from multiple different angles, like whack-a-mole. Nightfall for the defense side.
Oh, but the slip through from Miniboo. Mazzino's a wet, but the shot is sharp.
Nightfall for the attack side.
And from either side, headphones basically out at this point. Rien's the one to find calm, but King still holds. Still controls for now, but he's overwhelmingly surrounded. So lucky to be alive. The paint shell's there, but it's Miniboo to take him away, leaving Tex and Aspas. Now Aspas taking his time over towards top side. The timing right for Tex. Brings it to a 3v2. It's manageable. But now it's all on Aspas. A 1v2. No plan. No time on their side.
Double
They're
peek.
looking for the fight. They get it. Nicely done in the end.
Similar to what happened on Icebox, actually. LEV wins off the back of basically a thrifty. Team Heretics fights back here. And now the economy for LEV is actually in the gutter. So Team Heretics might have accidentally found their footing into this game off the back of that. But again here, these 5-man groups, that's the name of the game for Team Heretics. They're getting to the sites, they're moving together. As long as they do these little things, like the double peek we saw at the end of the round there, as long as they do that together, they're going to be fine. Miniboo, very happy about that round.
I mean, this game feels close, right? You've had some really close cut situations. We've got a 4-play stack over towards A. These Sheriffs, the Vandal with Aspas is so dangerous. They're already held up here. No damage achieved until then. Reveal on position. They want to brawl here, and they're going to get it. Aspas leads away. Taken down at least. Whoop for the trade out. Aspas sends the showstopper, but it's King to find the kill. It's a 3v3. King's got the rifle. The other two don't, but Tex is taking a lot of space, and he should hear this.
This is crazy that Team Heretics isn't pushing through anywhere. They knew that so many players were towards that A side.
They look scared.
They pop that Viper's Pit. It's going to lock down this area. The alarm bot is going to trigger if anyone comes from that blue room. Now all the focus is towards Heaven, towards Waterfall, but they also have to think about that three-prong attack from mid. If one goes down, Tex has his hat to get the info on the others. Benji.
So scary.
It's all on you, buddy, right now.
And Benji sitting up towards the top side there, spammed and actually connected on. Keeps his cool though, doesn't show his hand. The other two sitting by blue room, but Mazzino gets curious. We know what happened to the cat.
2 mollies now for the spike.
And it's just going their way. They found some sort of safety, some sort of security after what was a highly volatile round. Looking back at the start here, Tech's just going to look to give it up to the spike if he's, you know, that's the way it crumbles. But let's kind of roll it back to the start, Josh, because that was very messy. And I'm not used to that from Heretics. I'm not used to this really. And I guess it is determined a little by LEV, wanting that sort of chaos to ensue.
They're not pressured by these chaotic rounds all too often. A lot of the time, they get to move up wherever they want to go and just get their site exec off. And if they get stalled out from whatever piece of util, they wait and they go again, or they just go to the other side. Right now, they actually have to get down in the mud, fight it out at rubble, disjointed. Mini Blue on his lonesome, gets the kill, gets the paint shells down to create a little buffer so we can go for more. But Team Heretics is coming out on top in these mid-round situations. Another slow opening.
Yeah, look and see how they deal with mound control here, because this time around it's Aspas over this side. May have noted that Tex was very quick towards that door potentially, or maybe just going for a little bit of a check on this. But the one-way still in play. Boo going to send Aspas back. So clearing through the opening space. Also towards A, we are seeing an individual effort, and they just don't expect that to be real. Oh, the timing! Com gets away with murder. There, it felt like the timing was right, and look at this anti-air setup.
Team Heretics, after they lose that A space, might want to go C here. But they can make a little bit of pressure towards B, open that revolving door, make some sort of pressure. Right now it's going to be so hard to get through. Mazzino has that stun. He's at Waterfall. The crossfire setup, if the stun comes out, it could be perfect and break this attack.
Lev is in the perfect place for this. 3 of them here. Tech's going to be revealed though, and Miniboo takes his head. Aspas on the trade, tries to fall away. Nice, the Prowler, and Mazzino trying to buy him a couple of very precious seconds. Takes a look down towards water. Maybe considering clearing, and he does. Confidence being displayed. Lev fully in control here.
And again, like the previous round, they need to get some sort of space going on. So they tap the spike. They're moving actually towards A. They're going to break the door down. They'll have an open site. They don't know about it. They should move together. But right now, Benji peels off. It's all on Boo to get onto the site.
Okay, lucky enough, you get that. Now, Benji's timing could be perfect, or it could all be for nothing. You can see that Lev know there's a chance. That's all that Aspas needs. As Boo, a 1v4. Hey, Icebox, he was good. 1v4 good? I don't know. They're already starting to clear through by door. Hello. Yeah, you can see where the trouble happens. There's not a chance in hell. Lev really solid there, but it felt like Heretics didn't want to adjust around C. It felt very headstrong on approach, and it was very red at that moment.
Again, these rounds are getting really sloppy before Heretics is able to get into the site and get whatever plan they had off. They're getting disrupted. Lev is doing a really good job of getting in front of them. And I love at the end of the round there, the fundamentals from Lev, understanding the 4-on-2, waiting for the push from Benji, trying to equalize, isolate a fight, catch someone in the back, moving together after they kill him, make sure that they're not, when they win the round, they're doing it with 3 alive. Right there, they get it with 4 alive. Beautifully played. And Team Heretics, they're still in the lead.
I'm looking to see if they can string rounds together, though. Aggression over towards Mound looks like their first put of call. More often than not, they'd like to get cut off by the door. But this time around, you got Tex maybe watching that. So I quite like this adjustment.
Benji?
Hold on, this is a problem. Benji, oh, the reward is unbelievable. I thought Tex was holding that.
This should be an instant speed up. Heretics never does this though. They always pause and hesitate, and sometimes they miss their timings as a result of that. So it's on them to make a perfect decision here. Move together in this mid-round, because Lev has done such a good job in some of these situations with gambling correctly, being in the right spot, and Tex on this regress.
I mean, talk about feast or famine. Let's see. Too many targets. A nice try, but it wasn't going to work out. They're going to at least have a good idea where Mazzino is, but it's calm. Individual efforts aren't going to win you this round. No one able to bail them out. And Heretics, looking to keep this ball moving at least in their direction. This does feel bizarre though, because that didn't feel like a Heretics round either. That felt very up in the air, a little dependent on Benji doing well in that situation, which he did.
Again, another chaotic situation. Before they're able to move up, get that C-mount control, get that orb, and start developing the round where they execute onto the site, LEV presses the issue. They try to fight at Mound. They open the door. Benji's like, wait, what do I hear? Turns around, catches 2 on the side with off the back of the Paranoia. So great opening for Team Heretics in that round, but it hasn't been going in their favor every round. Sometimes LEV gets the better of Heretics on these chaotic openings. That's really the name of the game at the moment.
You do feel that if it does kind of devolve sounds like it's a negative, but it's not really. But if it does break down into one of those sort of muddier games, you got to feel. I say that. I'd say that LEV look better for me in those moments. They play a really nice brawly style at times. Maybe it's just because you got someone like Aspas who's just gonna knock you out half the time. But it's not like Heretics are slouches. You've got Mini Boo on the side. You've got some big players there as well. But I am impressed with Heretics so far for keeping their cool in this one, because LEV have been very, very divisive with all their aggressive looks here, the mound approach, the play towards rubble we've seen. They've started to really press the issue.
We're seeing that same sort of chaos, though, also reflected in the scoreline. The back and forth, you get one round, I get one round, you get one, constantly into the 6-3 scoreline. And the only reason why Team Heretics has that 3-round buffer is from that pistol round and that second round conversion as well. These are sloppy, you're right. And maybe this timeout tells them to play the game a little bit differently, but again, LEV is starting with a 4A setup here. Last time we saw this was on their low buy.
Yeah, and it got pretty close, I want to say. You got the Seize nade combo.
Seize, paint shells, stun as well. Team Heretics has all the info they need to go B.
Yeah, and they've done this quicker. We were talking about the timing before, how they don't do this too quickly. And I like Mini Boo's second to pause, to wait, because then he gets a fight like that, but where's the trade? Where's the support? There's none. Com gets his way back in. Woot's in danger. That's a huge ult, but Woot still somehow hits that shot. Benji couldn't crawl away in time as King claws him back. Now Rienz and Boo up against Tex and King. They've got to know where they evacuated to. This isn't ideal for the plant. They've got to try and deal with them here. Boo making a run. They can get on this.
Orb is on the spike. He can connect the smokes together and get in there, but the defuse is coming.
There's no time. Surely there's no time here. Yeah, Tex knows it. Wait.
He caught it. He got the defuse.
That was so close.
Again, another chaotic situation going in there. You're right. Where is that backup? All the way in that blue room. Mini Boo's in there. The door is closed. It's one of those situations where the communication needs to be on point. Where are you pushing together? You want to take some space. But some of the teammates were going towards Waterfall, one towards Heaven, one towards Blue Door, way too split apart. That is the name of LEV's game, not Team Heretics. Team Heretics, they go together, they move together. Right there, they get spread apart.
4-6, back and forth we go. Boo with his ult, Benji, TP with Woot on the other side, one off for Aspas. So that could be huge for him. As it stands, Heretics
Bring them down.
clearing through Mound. Close clear on the Prowler.
You should run.
Keeping it simple.
The problem with what's happening right now is this lockdown is pulling everyone from LEV over to C. It's going to be so difficult for Heretics to break through. Nobody's defending A right now. It's a 5-on-5 it's going to be soon.
Yeah, re-clear with the Prowler through middle. You can see the LEV are starting to question mark this. And the pause from Heretics is, if anything, adding to the paranoia. But once that smoke fades, Aspas Tex could have a look.
Speaking of paranoia, I'm looking at Nightfall. I'm looking at Woot has his ultimate on Omen. A really good combination could be found here. Nightfall on the site, deafening the players. The flank coming in the back. Right now, Benji set up on that B lurk. But still, Team Heretics running out of time. 40 seconds left. Haven't made a decision where to go. Finally, Calm. He's going to be the only defender towards A right now. Here comes the ult.
TP to tree. And he sticks it. It's Calm in the middle, though. This could be huge. If they don't clear this, he's on.
Face your fear.
Maybe a little bit of trigger discipline could have done him well there. But for now, the carpet's rolled out, and the round is more than likely Heretics is here. Tex is still on the Guardian. Aspas unable to get towards that ult. That could have been very valuable. But for now, they found stability in a very late rotate there. Maybe taking back some of the tempo of this game, taking away that chaotic element.
2 versus 5. It's going to be a save. The chaotic element out of the equation right there. Heretics pump the brakes, they were getting low on time. It was getting a little bit scary for them, but that was actually a really good audible from them, being able to use that Omen teleport into that tree room. You know that usually if there's a defender, they're up all the way, looking at that doorway, trying to get that spot and then back out. Someone's going to be playing in tree room, and that stage in the round, that's going to be crazy. And then Benji finding that pick on Mazzino at that rotate at B as well, just inserting the players into the proper positions. Team Heretics is doing a really good job in some of these mid rounds, which we weren't seeing so much on Icebox that much. We had to wait for those timeouts to come in, the coaches to start talking, for them to be able to get those off.
Yeah.
And right now, Lev is letting this game slip a little bit.
No, it does seem like it's falling between the fingertips here. It's not completely out of the realms of reality, but as I said, the chaos being quelled here. We're starting to see control back in Heretics' hands. Just kind of tempering the pace, but we know what Lev like. They like to go for these 4-play stacks towards A, and if Heretics want to go to the blender, they'll suffer the consequences.
They've been doing so well when they go slow. Looks like they might start fast here.
And it might be the death of them. There's the C's nade combo. Mini Boo takes a lot of damage for that. And it's not like Lev are going to take their foot off the gas. They can double down. And Woot's only good for one there. Trade comes out, and here comes the rocket right into Mini Boo's chest. Even down to 4v3, and the chaos looks so controlled in the hands of Lev. Until then, where the hell did Benji and Rienz just get those kills from?
Overextended from Lev. Tex 1 versus 2. He has his camera to work with, but he's against Rienz and Benji, the closers of this team. Sure, Benji's not on his mainstay of Cypher, but with that turret up, the alarm bot, the mollies, now his position's going to get revealed.
Yeah. Okay.
He could double back if he needs to, but that camera's not going to spot anybody. He has to get past this Viper wall as well.
It's quite telling. At least they see no one, no challenge, but you know, they could be playing timings, they could be by tree. But to find both is difficult. He's looking to try and clear towards tree first. Spams out again. Update on the progress. Another ping on the GPS, basically, telling you where he is. And Tex is running out of time. And they just put him out of his misery more than anything. 8 rounds, a respectable half scoreline. Lev keeping control of the chaos for a while, but eventually falling away from them here.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And as much as Lev wanted to bring this down into the mud a little bit, get chaotic, get brawly, Heretics rose above, keeping 8 rounds to themselves and dropping the 4, but those 4 were in the gun rounds, really. It did get to that point where it got very dangerous. However, 8 rounds is a good amount to be playing with here for Heretics.
It almost looks like Heretics is winning 2 rounds for every 1 that Lev gets. We see that reflected in the scoreline. Round 6 and 7, again 11 and 12. Lev, you're right though. They need to find a way to reserve their chaos. They can't let it all go at one time because it's gonna, you know, it takes something out of you. So they need to make sure that they pace themselves for the long game here. It's gonna go to Haven otherwise if they're not able to get some sort of form on this map.
Let's see what the tempo's set like. Now Lev get their opportunity to attack. Let's see how they look at it.
Haven't seen something slow in a very long time, it feels.
Yeah, it's been like high octane from the very start.
But a big gamble trap setup from Team Heretics.
4 players pretty much eyeing up the same spot, right?
They got that turret watching B, Benji's watching C. It has to be A. They're not going to move from here until that timing. But Tex, he's expecting some sort of push towards C. Lev, it's a minute left.
Bring them down.
Prowler, going to be handled. Keeps them very present. And I feel like Lev don't like what they're feeling. Like, whatever this is, they don't love it.
They're getting a little bit nervous. approaching that A, decide to come back towards B. But again, if you're going towards B here, they can come at you from 3 different angles. Will they use that revolving door, create any sort of pressure? Are they going to push through to Waterfall? Is there some sort of read that I don't know about? Great timing on those paint shells. How does he know to use it then? Maybe the smoke timing from the attacker side.
Could get some pressure here, though. He's got support, and now the door going to be tested. You're looking at the likes of Benji to try and hold back the flood. They're on the way, though, and the blender would have waited them. Look at the HP being dwindled down now. If they'd carried on, it would have been near on death.
15
However,
seconds.
HP back up. They got to ward back in towards B, and you can see what Woot's trying to do. Tries to fall away, but now down to 10. Heretics being brought back down to the chaos, and Lev are thriving in it. The plant should be... Wait, the spike carrier went down. They should be fine, I think. They're fine. Benji 1v4? Nah, Lev. They love that sort of chaos, Josh. They left that down to the last second and then just ramped it up.
That was getting so scary. 18 seconds left. The Viper Orb timing coming up. That Killjoy Molly on top of it can't break through. But Team Heretics, they're running 2 players through Waterfall there. They can't get back and stop this plant. It's behind cover. It's all on Woot. He can't get away. Lev, get that pistol.
That's my
and
entry breach. Let's go. That's a smile.
again, we have a game on our hands. And we're seeing them alive again.
Yeah, and if Heretics can't control them, then Lev can close the gap. They can bring this back. This could be a 2-0. Stack, however, yeah.
Boo, he's got his haunt, ready to come over top. But I don't know what other abilities they're going to use. They just have to swing together. Just have classics at the moment, a paranoia as well if they need it. Looks like Woot is ready to do it, but that Prowler spots them.
Lev, I love this kind of tempo change as well, from very aggressive. You know, again, if you roll your mind back into the starting round towards A, having that brawl, willing to do it here, very composed. Maybe looking to read for any sort of pocket plays, any sort of set pieces. Really nice. The fact that they kept that sat deep, showing that they can shift gear here a little. Woot goes unscathed.
Prowler might catch
so
it.
aware. They're so aware. Especially after seeing the kind of paranoia, the haunt coming through, the crowd, everything. You're thinking it's a stack. You're thinking it's going to be a trap there. And again, doing the due diligence. You like to see it. A nice try re-ends. And rinse and repeat. We go again. Lev, this is really nice. If you're going to talk about them in their chaotic moments, you've got to give them credit here when they've kept their composure.
A great read by Lev there, understanding the stack was in play. Off the back of the camera from Tex out A, getting the information. Hey, they're not here at all. Be careful. Go slow.
That's nice.
Slow they went. Lev pulling it back. They need to convert this bonus if they want to get even closer. Team Heretics still has that lead. When we look at the game so far, it's been very chaotic. It's been a lot of these very early fights, but that's not the style that Team Heretics likes to play on their defense side. They like to sit back, have these trap setups, force the enemy to actually commit, and then go for the retakes. That is what they're strongest
left side,
at.
but I don't trust even in my shadow, and I cleared him.
It's up to Team Heretics to set the tone here, to tell them, you're on our playground right now. You play by our rules.
Also, I just realized Aspas is 20-9, and the closest player in his team has got 8 kills. He's quite good at this game. Pleasure to get to watch him play. We don't often get to see it, obviously. Hands on. Looking sharp here today.
The walk up middle, though, at the same time as this Lev. Just using C as a little bit of a fake. They're going to probably go through the revolving door, but re-ends.
Oh, in case they needed a little bit of luck on their side. Why not? And they're going to go on this. I quite like that. Just instinctive play, smart approach, heads up, reactive, and it works wonders. Look at this guy, reigning supreme. Massive impact. The back of a blind shot that worked. Sometimes you get them. Now they get the plant too. Boo and Woot, irrelevant to this round.
Converted bonus for Lev. A save from Team Heretics.
Look how close he is to his ult as well.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Must be nice to have an Aspas in your team. Must be nice.
How do you lose? But
they weren't losing all that often until, you know, was it Trace happened? They're doing pretty good.
True. Right now, though, Lev showing why they're veterans. That championship level quality coming through here. Team Heretics, they are the rookies, and they're showing so much determination and grit, but they're starting to slip a little bit. Icebox, they had Lev on the ropes a couple of different times. Lev turned it around and stole it away. Team Heretics again, in the lead on Lotus, this is one of their stronger maps here. They need to be looking to close this out. So losing those first players at the start of the round there, not looking pretty for these guys. Gonna have to do a little bit of a mix buy. Maybe even let LEV get up to that 8-8 tied score line. But again, can they set the tempo? Can they make LEV play by their rules? Or is LEV gonna be able to run all around them?
Let's see. The Sheriffs, the Stingers, the two remaining Vandals. Well, two Vandals, not even remaining. And look at the Outlaw as well. Could be in the right place to get some good damage done. Aspas gonna lead the charge. Takes at least control of the corner and then over towards Rebel. While that happens, Boo. Try and get towards his ult here. And they wait for a fight. And if you're Heretics, you're probably not really wanting to give them too many early fights.
This push I'm seeing by Boo getting really aggressive on that mound line. He is the only player between the attackers and that C site. Right now, Team Heretics just in a little bit of a loose, flexible setup towards that A and B. Not really anticipating this, and once Boo goes down there, that site's gonna be way opened up. LEV looking to kick up the pace and take this off the back of that kill on this player. So extended forwards, and already in the site is Aspas. He took a little bit of damage, but Omen teleport to get in here as well. And Team Heretics, they're fighting. They're trying to fight in the chaos.
But you can't fight against these guys like this. They were made for this sort of chaos. Looking so cool under all that pressure, and it's dwindling. There needs to be a timeout for Heretics because Leviathan have turned up in this half. Sharp as hell.
Left.
A scary prospect. And Aspas is all locked in, ready to go. Scoreline will be back. All even. Benji, come on.
Okay.
Oh, what? Are you going to shut me up? I'm down to learn my lesson, Benji. But how are you going to find the last two? Because suddenly they thought the round was done. Brought back to attention. Vandal in hand. He's running low on time and he knows it. 5 seconds, or not 5 seconds, 5 bullets now, down to 3. Valiant attempt.
So close.
Damn nice attempt. You got to give credit where it's due. He tried damn hard for that one. But 8 apiece, Josh. Surely there's a timeout for Heretics now.
I would be inclined to agree. They still have theirs. They had such
Look
control of that
as well.
first half.
Smiling,
And, yeah,
happy. They know they're in control.
The body language of LEV in previous matches as well hasn't looked this good. It's been not happy,
tense,
not
yeah.
smiling, tense. Yeah, you can feel it in the air, in the room. And Team Heretics right now leaning on those coaches for their experience, for the different perspective, maybe icing the players out a little bit just to keep them calm, remind them of kind of where they're at.
Yes.
Remind them of how they got here even.
And it is a very different environment. As much as Heretics have been, obviously, a highlight to witness, a very strong team as of late, the caliber on LEV is a different quality. I mean, we have champions, winners in that team. We have the highest caliber possible. So they keep their cool under all of the scrutiny, all of the high tempo rounds, they're fine. And you've got Aspas having a nutty game, right? And on the other side, I don't think anyone's slouching from Heretics. But what are you meant to do when Aspas is up on 23-10? Like, how are you meant to stop a superstar having these sort of games?
It's also difficult when you switch your composition. They're taking the composition that Fnatic runs. This isn't what Team Heretics has been running all year. They had that breach in the mixture. They weren't on that double controller. So maybe finding those adjustments is more difficult as they still don't have as many reps on this composition.
Yeah.
But also, they should be used to playing against a breach comp.
It's true. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
You're not wrong with that. But let's see what the timeouts cooked up, because generally it's been quite valuable, actually. Niels and Weber coming up with some really good concepts for them, giving them a couple of rounds here. Earlier info on this C-Take, and we do have a player now posted beside Benji, but Aspas is in the door. How much can one man do? That's the start. He knows there's another. He flies on in, and he sprays him down. Aspas ripping and tearing through Heretics. Can Boo do the same back? Not right now. Has to peel away, but at least does some damage.
4 versus 3. Spike's still not planted, and Team Heretics inching up, looking like they want to take this fight early, but the stun's going to force them off. The plant's going to go down. Boo, can he spam it?
They're trying. The firing squad didn't land. Mazzino lives. Closing the gap. And actually a TP towards site.
Good
He's got the
crossfire.
paranoia. He's got the smoke in too, but they've got 4 players here ready, posted on the site itself. They have no idea about this. They may know about 1 or 2. Good paranoia could be everything. That's fantastic, but can they do the damage? The answer is absolutely and resoundingly no. Leviathan still in charge, taking another round into their hands.
And a beautiful post plant as well from Team LEV. The way that they all sat around that elbow area. Calm had his horn in his hand, ready for that. They knew, okay, there's going to be a smoke, there's going to be a paranoia. They're going to come in with this, and then I'm going to use that haunt. Even if you guys get paranoid, guess what? You're going to be able to see them. I'm going to scan them. So great composure there at the site, playing together side by side.
Shout out to the replay team and shout out to you for noticing that. Love that. Got a little lost in the sauce, but even Aspas happy with it. But that's completely broken the money of Heretics too. You're down to Sheriffs here. A couple of ults coming up soon, but you're going to start feeling like this game is slipping away from you. We thought this veto would be kind of mid to back loaded for Heretics. Map 1 would have been very strong for LEV, which eventually it was, but they had a very competitive series on. This is slowly being taken away from them. You can kind of feel it in the water. There's something happening here. The momentum firmly in the hands of LEV, especially after that round.
Economy being broken, not a problem. Team Heretics can rebound. Spirits being broken, different story.
Can they keep their heads held high? Right now they're being ripped off by Aspas predominantly. A pivot towards B. Tex holding to try and catch any stragglers, making it through on the rotation. Nice. Oh, and clean from Tex. Any boom woot. Looking irrelevant to outcome. Tex going walkabouts and getting rewarded. This could be the downfall of Heretics right here, right now. Leviathan are literally getting a stranglehold on this game. Double digits made and in touching distance. Look at the streak of rounds. It's been 6 in a row for LEV.
Team Heretics is usually so good at doing retakes, but right now, they're not playing their game. LEV is controlling everything, forcing this chaos, forcing Team Heretics into these unusual fights. They're not used to it. They can't convert it.
I live
and
for
right
the
now,
ecos.
LEV is just prying them apart from the inside out.
This is the difference between the good and the great. Leviathan showing depth, capability, tempo changes, everything you want to be seeing, and the superstar performance from their superstar. But it's not over yet. Couple of ults here in the hands of Heretics. The LEV showing early presence towards A.
That lockdown is going to be a huge tool to use in a retake right now, but Rien's in the site, trying to defend it to his death. Maybe going 1 versus 5. His teammate's way too far away to help him, and here comes the Rolling Thunder. Benji actually gets affected by it.
And he goes down. Look at this player by player. They are dropping the site fully, waving the Leviathan flag here.
No way.
Oh, come on. It's so clean. It's so good. It is falling to pieces for Heretics. If I'm their coach, if I'm the IGL, I'm calling another timeout if I got one, because this game is falling away from you. You thought you had a chance. You thought wrong.
They tried to play their game. They tried to set up for that retake, but getting bumped out of the position off this Rolling Thunder, moved away from the wall. Tex opens it up, gets that hat off, and that information Aspas, this flick right.
It's poetry in motion watching them play right now. Everything's hitting, the reads are right. They got it all. It's hard not to enjoy LEV when they look this strong here.
जो भी नहीं हुआ जल्दी से like, share and subscribe कर दो.
Again, Heretics, they're calling this timeout. They need to get something discussed right now. The coaches need to keep these players in line. They're not getting any openings. They're not winning their opening duels. They're getting split apart. No trade kills happening. It's Benji out of position. We saw out at C Mount as well. Mini Boo went down once. At Blue Door, we saw Boo go down once. And there's no follow